Imagine looking up at the night sky and realizing that every tiny point of light you see, every star, every speck of brightness is another sun. Some older, some younger, some orbited by planets that may have oceans, clouds, and even cities. If the universe is this vast, if there are trillions of worlds out there, then where is everyone? For thousands of years, humanity has asked the same question. Are we alone? By all logic, by every equation we've written, and by every telescope we've aimed into the heavens, there should be life out there. Not just bacteria or microscopic cells, but civilizations far older, wiser, and more advanced than our own. And yet, across the vast silence of space, we've heard nothing. No signals, no messages, no evidence of company. This contradiction between the mathematical certainty that life should exist and the complete absence of proof is known as the Fermi paradox, and it might be the most unsettling mystery in all of science. Some scientists believe there's a reason for this silence, a cosmic barrier that very few, if any, civilizations can pass. A threshold so catastrophic that almost every intelligent species, no matter how brilliant, eventually destroys itself before it can spread among the stars. They call it the Great Filter. If that's true, then every extinct world, every quiet planet, may hold the story of a civilization that reached too high and fell before it could be heard. But the most chilling question isn't whether the filter exists. It's whether humanity has already passed it, or if it still lies ahead of us. To understand this mystery, we must first understand the universe we live in, and how staggeringly improbable life itself might be. To grasp the mystery of alien silence, we first need to understand just how enormous the stage really is. Our planet orbits a single star among roughly 400 billion others in the Milky Way. And the Milky Way itself is just one of 2 trillion galaxies we can detect, each with hundreds of billions of suns of its own. Every one of those stars could host worlds, small rocky planets, gas giants, frozen moons, or ocean worlds hidden beneath layers of ice. Statistically, there are more planets than stars, perhaps 10 trillion across the observable universe. If even a tiny fraction of those worlds were capable of nurturing life, then the cosmos should be teeming with it. Forests under alien suns, oceans glimmering with strange creatures, civilizations rising beneath unfamiliar skies. And yet, from this vast cosmic ocean, not a single unambiguous voice has reached us. In 1961, astronomer Frank Drake tried to put numbers to that intuition. His now famous Drake equation broke the question into parts. How many stars form each year? How many have planets? How many of those planets could support life? How many actually do? And how many of those worlds produce civilizations capable of communication? Even with conservative estimates, the numbers suggest that the Milky Way alone should contain thousands, perhaps millions, of intelligent species. Mathematically, the odds that we are the only thinking beings in a galaxy this large seem almost absurd. Programs like SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, have been listening for decades, sweeping the heavens for a whisper of technology, a radio signal, a repeating pattern, a mathematical code. But what they've found so far is nothing. No messages, no alien beacons, just an ocean of static. This is the heart of the silence problem. If life arises easily, if intelligence is a natural outcome of evolution, then where is everyone? By now, with billions of years of cosmic history behind us, at least one civilization should have colonized the stars, left probes in our solar system, or filled the galaxy with detectable energy signatures. Yet we see no Dyson spheres harnessing starlight, no alien megastructures blotting the sky, no unmistakable transmissions cutting through the noise. Maybe the universe is full of life, but it's quiet life, microbial and isolated. Maybe civilizations flare up and fade too quickly to overlap. Or maybe, somewhere between the birth of life and the mastery of the stars, something stops them. That something is what scientists have come to call the Great Filter. A barrier that most civilizations never pass. A silent, cosmic checkpoint between existence and extinction. To understand what that filter might be, we first have to understand where this paradox began, and the story of one scientist who dared to ask the question that still haunts us. Where is everybody? It began on a warm summer afternoon in 1950 at Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. Among a group of brilliant physicists chatting over lunch was one man whose curiosity could slice through even the most casual conversation. Enrico Fermi, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist often called the architect of the nuclear age. That day, the group had been joking about newspaper cartoons and reports of flying saucers. They talked about how easily humans exaggerated, how quickly myth became rumor. And then Fermi, quiet for a moment, suddenly asked, "But where is everybody?" A simple question, yet it struck the table silent. In a galaxy filled with hundreds of billions of stars, if intelligent life is common, why haven't any of them visited us? Why no ships, no signals, no trace? Fermi ran a few quick calculations on a napkin, estimating how fast a spacefaring civilization could spread through the galaxy. Even moving slowly, it would take only a few million years, a blink of cosmic time. By that logic, someone should already be here. And yet, no one is. That single question would echo through decades of astronomy, philosophy, and existential thought, becoming known forever as the Fermi paradox. Over the years, scientists and dreamers alike have offered hundreds of possible answers, some hopeful, others haunting. Maybe life is incredibly rare, a cosmic accident like a match that almost never lights. Or maybe life is common, but intelligence is not. Billions of worlds may teem with oceans and forests, yet never produce minds capable of wonder or curiosity. Then there's the idea of self-destruction, so that civilizations, once they unlock immense power, inevitably destroy themselves. Nuclear war, artificial intelligence, environmental collapse. The means differ, but the outcome is the same: silence. Some suggest a cosmic quarantine, that advanced species deliberately avoid us, watching from afar, waiting for humanity to mature. It's called the zoo hypothesis, Earth as a protected exhibit, isolated until we're ready to join the wider community. Others wonder if civilizations simply lose interest, turning inward, abandoning the stars for digital paradises or virtual realities of their own making. In that case, the galaxy could be full of life, but all of it asleep, dreaming endlessly beneath alien skies. Each explanation carries a different kind of loneliness, a different way for a universe to remain silent. In 2008, philosopher Nick Bostrom gave this silence a name and a terrifying interpretation. He called it the Great Filter. The idea is simple and deeply unsettling. If countless civilizations could exist but we see none, it means that somewhere along the evolutionary path, from the birth of life to the leap into the stars, there must be an almost impossible barrier. Something that filters out nearly every intelligent species before they become galactic. That barrier could be behind us. Perhaps the origin of life itself is so rare that passing it was our miracle. Or it could still lie ahead, a universal trap that every advanced civilization eventually triggers: self-destruction, resource collapse, or something even more incomprehensible. If that's true, then our silence is not just cosmic, it's a warning. Every quiet star, every lifeless world could mark the grave of a species that reached too far. But it could also mean something else, that we are early, that the universe is still young, and humanity stands at the dawn of something extraordinary or catastrophic. The question now isn't just, where is everybody? It's when will we find out which side of the filter we're on? To uncover that answer, we have to journey backward to the very beginning of life itself and ask how we made it this far when so many worlds may never have had the chance. To understand what the Great Filter might be, we first look backward, 4 billion years into the quiet dawn of our own world. Back then, Earth was hostile, no oxygen, no plants, only seas of volcanic rock and chemical storms. Yet somewhere in that chaos, something impossible happened. Molecules of carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen, lifeless pieces of matter, assembled themselves into systems that could copy, change, and survive. From chemistry came biology. Scientists call this moment abiogenesis, the origin of life from non-life. And despite decades of research, we still don't know how it happened. We can describe the ingredients, but not the spark. Maybe it was lightning striking a primordial soup. Maybe it was deep-sea hydrothermal vents forging life in the darkness. Or maybe it took conditions so rare that across trillions of planets it's happened only once. If that's true, the Great Filter could already be behind us. The miracle wasn't survival, it was beginning. For nearly 2 billion years after life began, nothing on Earth had lungs, eyes, or brains. The planet was ruled by tiny microbes, simple, single cells, drifting through an alien ocean. Then something extraordinary happened. A new kind of organism began to exhale a dangerous waste product, oxygen. At first, that oxygen was poison. It rusted the planet, wiped out most existing life, and turned the sky blue. But in that catastrophe lay creation. Oxygen made complex metabolism possible. It fueled larger cells, tissues, and eventually multicellular life. It was called the Great Oxygenation Event, a turning point so delicate that had it gone slightly differently, Earth might have stayed microbial forever. Complex life, the kind that builds coral reefs or dreams of stars, depends on a razor-thin balance of chemistry and chance. Every breath we take is a reminder. The universe rarely grants such conditions twice. Even after complex life appeared, intelligence was far from guaranteed. For hundreds of millions of years, Earth teemed with creatures, but none looked up and wondered why. Only once did evolution roll the dice and produce a species capable of curiosity and reflection. Not the strongest, not the fastest, but the most aware. From a small band of primates emerged a mind that could imagine gods, build cities, and send machines beyond its own sky. If intelligence were inevitable, the oceans and jungles would be full of thinkers. Instead, it seems to be a cosmic accident, a rare alignment of environment, stability, and chance. If that's the case, then perhaps we've already passed several filters: the origin of life, the leap to complexity, and the birth of consciousness itself. But the question remains, was that the last barrier or just the beginning? Because if the great filter isn't behind us, it means it's still ahead, waiting for every civilization that reaches for the stars. To find out, we must look forward, toward the forces that could end not just humanity, but every species that dares to master fire and technology. Every civilization that survives long enough to wield real power eventually faces the same moment, the instant when its inventions outpace its wisdom. For us, that moment may already have arrived. In less than a century, humanity has unlocked the energy of the atom, built machines that think, and altered the chemistry of an entire planet. Each discovery was a triumph and a test. Nuclear war. We created a technology capable of ending global civilization in a single afternoon. Artificial intelligence. We are teaching our creations to learn faster than we can understand them. Environmental collapse. Our growth transforms the atmosphere, the oceans, the soil itself. Technology amplifies everything we are, our brilliance, our ambition, and our capacity for self-destruction. If the great filter lies ahead, it may not be an asteroid or a cosmic accident. It may be us. Some scientists believe this is the true answer to the Fermi paradox. Civilizations don't vanish because of external disasters. They collapse under their own weight. They burn too bright, too fast. The same intelligence that lets them split atoms and colonize planets also drives them into resource wars, unchecked automation, or ecological ruin. Maybe every species that masters industry faces a narrow corridor, a brief window before its own inventions spiral beyond control. Most fail, a few survive long enough to learn restraint. Perhaps that's why the galaxy seems empty. The silence may be the sound of billions of voices that reached the same threshold and fell quiet. The great filter, then, is not a wall in space, it's a mirror. It shows us what happens when intelligence outruns compassion. But there's another possibility. The great filter might not be one single catastrophe. It might be a series of cosmic checkpoints, stages that test every young civilization. The first checkpoint is energy mastery, harnessing the power of your own world without destroying it. Few pass. The next is planetary stewardship, learning to live within the limits of your environment. Fewer still succeed. Then comes space colonization, spreading beyond a single fragile home before time or entropy wipes it clean. Each step demands cooperation, foresight, and unity on a planetary scale, qualities that evolution rarely rewards but the universe demands. If we can cross those thresholds, humanity might prove that intelligence can endure its own fire. If we fail, we become another silent world in the endless night. The question now is simple and terrifying. Are we approaching the end of the test or the beginning of it? Before we decide our fate, we have to ask whether the silence around us is truly emptiness or design. What if we are being watched or deliberately kept apart? What if the reason we haven't met anyone is because we're not supposed to? Some scientists believe that advanced civilizations might already know we exist and have chosen to keep their distance. They call it the zoo hypothesis. Just as we protect endangered species by keeping them undisturbed behind glass, perhaps Earth is a kind of cosmic preserve, a planet left to evolve and develop without interference. Maybe we are being observed, quietly studied from a distance. Maybe our first radio transmissions, our news, our wars, our laughter, have already reached ears far older than our own. The zoo hypothesis paints a haunting image that the galaxy is alive with civilizations, advanced, silent, disciplined, waiting for us to mature enough to make contact. But what if the silence isn't compassion? What if it's fear? Another idea comes not from astronomy but from philosophy and computer science. It asks a different question. What if we haven't met other civilizations because we aren't in the same universe at all? This is the simulation hypothesis. If technology can create virtual worlds realistic enough for conscious beings to exist inside them, then statistically the number of simulated realities could vastly outnumber base reality itself. In that case, the odds that we are living in the original universe become almost zero. Maybe the silence of the cosmos isn't a mystery. It's a design choice. The simulation we inhabit might have limits written into its code, no signals from the outside, no visitors beyond the boundaries of our sky. It's an idea that blurs science with theology. The notion that our creators might not be gods or aliens, but programmers. If that's true, then the great filter might not be physical at all. It could simply be the edge of the simulation, the moment the program ends. And yet, even that idea can't escape the same ancient question. Why create a universe and leave it silent? In 2008, Chinese author Liu Cixin offered a chilling explanation in his novel The Dark Forest. He suggested that the universe is not empty, but dangerous. Every civilization, he wrote, is like a hunter in a dark forest, moving silently, knowing that others might be out there, armed and afraid. To reveal yourself is to risk destruction. Because in a universe where resources are finite and intentions unknown, the safest strategy is silence. Speak, and someone might hear you. And if they do, they might not answer with words. Maybe that's why the sky is quiet. Not because no one is there, but because everyone is hiding. Each signal we send into the void, every broadcast, every transmission, might be a flare announcing our position in a cosmic wilderness where predators wait unseen. The dark forest hypothesis turns the great filter into a survival instinct. The silence isn't failure, it's caution. And if that's true, then perhaps we're the naive newcomers, wandering through the woods, calling out into the dark, unaware of what listens back. If the universe is truly this quiet, and whether by choice, design, or fear, what does that say about us? Maybe the answer to the great filter isn't out there at all. Maybe it's within us. Humanity stands at a crossroads. We are, in cosmic terms, teenagers, brilliant, impulsive, and untested. Only a few centuries ago, we learned that the Earth orbits the Sun. Now we reach for other worlds, decode our own DNA, and create intelligence in silicon. We've mastered fire, atom, and algorithm, yet we still struggle to master ourselves. If the great filter lies ahead, then this may be the moment civilizations always reach, the moment between childhood and maturity, where power outpaces wisdom. A few choices, a few generations may determine whether we survive to see the stars or vanish like countless others who may have come before. We have become a species that can destroy or preserve a civilization both fragile and formidable. And the universe is watching, silently, to see what we'll do next. The next 100 years could decide our place in cosmic history. Artificial intelligence may soon surpass human capability, offering solutions to our greatest problems or amplifying our greatest flaws. Space colonization is no longer science fiction. Private companies and space agencies plan permanent settlements on the Moon and Mars. For the first time, life from Earth might plant its roots beyond its cradle. If we can survive the 21st century, as if we can stabilize our planet, master sustainable energy, and harness AI as a partner rather than a threat, then humanity may pass through the Great Filter. We could become one of the few species in the universe to reach Type 1 civilization status on the Kardashev scale, a world that fully harnesses its own planet's energy without collapse. From there, the stars themselves would open. Interstellar travel, terraforming digital immortality, concepts that today sound mythical could become the daily reality of tomorrow. But to reach that dawn, we must first survive our midnight. If the Great Filter is still ahead of us, we face the greatest test any civilization can endure. But if the filter lies behind us, if we are among the first to make it this far, then the silence of the cosmos becomes something else entirely. A gift and a responsibility. Because that would mean we are early. The first sparks of intelligence in a still young universe. The pioneers in a cosmic wilderness waiting to awaken. If we are the first, then our duty is not just to survive, but to ensure that life, consciousness, and wonder spread beyond this small blue world. We carry not just the legacy of Earth, but the potential of countless worlds that may never get their chance. The Great Filter may be real. It may be merciless, but it is not unbeatable. If we can learn, adapt, and unite, then perhaps one day, somewhere in the deep future, another young civilization will look to the stars, and they will not find silence. They will hear us, because maybe the Great Filter wasn't meant to end us. Maybe it was meant to define us. The Great Filter began as a question about aliens, but in the end, it became a question about us. Every theory, from cosmic catastrophe to self-destruction, ultimately reflects the same mirror, that what we fear in the universe is what we fear within ourselves. If the Great Filter is real, maybe it's not a wall built by the cosmos, but a reflection of our nature, our arrogance, our brilliance, our ability to create and destroy in the same breath. It challenges us to look inward before we look outward, to ask not, where is everyone, but what kind of beings will we become when someone finally answers? Because the search for extraterrestrial life has always been more than science. It's a mirror we hold to our own existence, a way to measure the distance between what we are and what we hope to be. We listen to the cosmos and it listens back in silence. But maybe silence isn't absence. Maybe it's patience. Perhaps the universe is waiting for us to grow quiet enough to hear what it's really saying. Perhaps the silence is not a warning, but an invitation to become something greater, to prove that intelligence can be both powerful and kind. That curiosity can overcome fear. That life, fragile, improbable, defiant life, can rise from dust, touch the stars, and endure. The silence may not be the universe's judgment. It may be its faith that somewhere among the endless lights, one species will make it through the filter and carry the story forward. In the end, the Great Filter is not just a theory. It's a story unsaid about fragility, survival, and the infinite hunger of consciousness to know itself. We are the universe becoming aware of its own existence. Stardust, learning to speak. Every heartbeat, every act of creation, every question whispered into the dark adds to that cosmic conversation. Maybe the purpose was never to find others, but to prove that intelligence, once born, can choose meaning over destruction. Look at that tiny light, Earth. All our fears, our wars, our dreams, condensed into a single pixel suspended in a sunbeam. And yet, from that pixel, we look outward and dare to ask the oldest, most human question: are we alone? Maybe one day, our signals will reach another world. Maybe someone, somewhere, will hear us and know that we made it through. Until then, we listen, we wonder, and we hope.